before she was, it
Four,
was, they've been together before she was an adult?
4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So they've been together for a while.
Longer than my previous relationship. Yeah.
That's awesome. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so how old was she when they
Like
started their,
15, I think. 15.
oh, wow. So she was
Yeah.
15 and he was 30. So
Yeah.
my daughter is 6. She's in my arm. So I
Yeah.
am putting the
Um,
camera up so that she doesn't appear. But I
yeah.
have a sick baby in my arms right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hope she
She
feels
has a
better
little
soon.
fever. She was fine this morning. She was fine yesterday. And actually, I was at a friend's house right now. She had her sister over. So she had an open house downtown Detroit. And when I came home, I've been told that she developed fever about an
Oh
hour ago.
no.
So right now, she has a little fever.
But
She's
it's not like
39,
super elevated or anything.
39.
I don't
Uh,
know what that is in
I think it's close to 100, maybe not
100.
more.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 100 is pushing where it's like when I had COVID, I think I hit 102.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, she
Yeah.
doesn't have that. She has like 39, which
Yeah.
is, yeah.
It would have to be like I guess, well, for me in Fahrenheit, I think, 99 is like elevated. 98.6 is the default, but
Yeah.
there's
Anyway.
sort of, I guess, this idea that I had when I was growing up that everybody has to be 98.6. And I discovered later that that's not true. People run at different temperatures, so, and my default temperature is a little lower than that. My
Okay.
motor's running like at 97.6
Mm,
or something like
okay.
that, like a degree lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, I have my daughter in my arms because she's sick, but she's good.
yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you tell me she's gonna be all right, I'm sure. Right,
Uh-huh.
hon?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said yes. So your daughter, when she was 15, started dating someone who was like 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And tell us about it.
But I don't know what there is to tell.
So
I
you
mean,
found out or she told you?
I said they were hanging out together, so I suspected that that's what was going on.
Where did she meet him?
Probably downtown because he's a street poet as well. So probably
Oh, yeah.
on
And so
on the
you were like,
streets
oh
of
my
Denver.
goodness, you are um um how do you say it? Like, my daughter is not of age. You can't be
Yeah,
dating
yeah,
her.
yeah. I
She's
had
just
that
15.
going
I'll
on.
take you
Yeah,
to the court.
yeah, yeah. Well, here's the thing: is like with my previous relationship with Adriana, she's 19 years younger than me.
So you show the pattern.
So yeah, so it's like there's
Anyway, so you were
yeah.
dating Adriana when your daughter started dating her boyfriend.
Yeah, we Adriana and I had been dating for about a year.
So your daughter told you, why would you tell me you're dating somebody who is 19 years
Wait,
old?
I don't know if we really had a conversation about that.
So tell us what happened. She was dating, and then you were like, I don't want you to date this guy. He's too old.
This is something I'll talk with you about when we're
Okay, that's
offline.
good.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm not quite prepared to
I understand.
have that all hang out with the world, and a lot of it's just
I
my
like that because
hang-ups
usually
about it.
that's me. So I'm very happy that today.
But what was really nice about it was when he came over, and I could see the affection and love they have
Oh,
for each other, and it was, I mean, and it's almost like the change I went through, because that's the only thing we can control is the change we go through, is like the change came from me going, well, who am I to say that this is not
yeah. But
acceptable?
at
You
the
know what I
same
mean?
time, you wanted to protect your daughter. If my
Yes.
daughter, when she's 15, there is
Yep.
somebody who
Yep.
is 15-year-old hanging around, I'd be like, that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, everything takes time. I was at my friend's house, and there were a lot of people. So we were talking, of course, about dating,
Mhm.
because the woman I was talking to, and I loved her, so we exchanged numbers. She is my age, 45,
Mhm.
and she was married for maybe 15 years. She's been
Mhm.
divorced now. separated for 5 years and just got divorced recently. And she was dating this guy who was here too. And his name is Jacob. And I found that they were just lovely together. So I was asking them questions and they said that, so they both live at their house. They're not living together. He talked to her like his woman, and she talked about him like his man. I found that was really cute.
Yeah.
And they were just talking generally. She said, you know, when somebody likes you, he will chase you. He will not, you won't have to do anything. And, you know, he saw her somewhere and talked to her, and they were like friends for a year, just social media friends.
Yeah.
And then when he invited her to the art museum, and then, you know, they've been together since.
Nice. Yeah.
And she said, you know, I was involved in some relationships before, and what happened is that I was trying to fix the people. And what I realize now is that you don't try to fix. She said,
no, you just accept.
Either you like the person as is, or you move on.
Right.
And she said, the minute, because she said people won't change. She said, the minute you are with someone, there are some things that you see that are red flags that you don't like, and that you say, well, the person is going to change, or I'm going to fix it.
This is going to be my project. This would be my special project.
Usually that doesn't work. And for me, that was really good to, I mean, I'm taking notes right now. I think that's excellent, because I had a conversation with Sarah at 92, and she said the same thing. And I'm just, you know, making the link now. Like me, I'm a fixer. Okay. I like to fix things. I could sort of
see that. I could sort of see that in you. I
mean, in me.
Yes. Yeah.
But that's bad. Okay, let's not judge. I won't judge myself. There is no good and no bad. Let's say that I am someone who likes to give a second chance. I am someone who is a little naive. I've been told in the past that I am naive.
Naive about what? What are you naive about?
Generally, I'm like, oh, you know, people change, or I'll forgive you, or no, that wasn't that bad. Oh no, he didn't mean it that way. You know, sometimes when it's obvious, I'm still, you know, giving in or giving excuses and things like that, because underneath I am a fixer, and I'm like, oh, I will be able to change. And so the work that I have been doing on myself too, and that's very interesting, is that I am trying to make sure that I accept the people the way they are. And when I see myself wanting to correct, I try to move back a little. And at the same time, it's making me more safe, more aware that, you know, I don't need to judge myself. I can just either accept the person the way they are or move on. Like I did that in my marriage, right? I've tried to fix my husband. And the only person I can fix is myself. I think I should have just focus on fixing myself instead of one.
And actually, I don't even know if I like the language if I need to fix myself.
Like to work with myself.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing is wrong with me.
Everything. Even the part of you that likes to fix.
I think there are two ways. I love myself unconditionally. But I am also aware of unhealthy patterns. So when I say fixing myself, it's being aware of the patterns that don't serve me. You know, when I say fix myself, it's trying to get away, to change, to move from those patterns that don't serve me. That's what I mean.
I don't know if I would even use the word unhealthy as opposed to unuseful.
Oh, I think I think both can be used. Sometimes it's unuseful, and sometimes that's unhealthy. Unhealthy is when it's harming me physically. Like, you know, I have two books that I really love, three. One is the Body Keeps a Score.
Oh, I remember you told me about that one.
The other one is When the Body Says No, it's there. And the third one I forgot, but these books will tell you that the big one, this one, The Myth of Normal, and we've talked about it.
Yeah, that's on my list. That's on my list. I mean,
they say that it's your emotional unhealth. No, we don't say that. Your emotional
well, let's say
unwell-being.
sickness. Well,
Sickness.
I don't like sickness.
Yeah, but basically,
dysfunction, maybe.
Basically, it's that feeds sickness in your body. So unhealthy patterns, like I have, my mom passed away from breast cancer, and she developed cancer when she was 55. I am convinced that it's her life story and all of the emotional stuffing and unhealthy ways.
So you think that contributed to her illness?
Yeah, not only contributed, I think that's what brought it about.
Yeah, I have that theory, and lots of people have talked with me about this as well with my dad. That his mental processes actually were what caused him to essentially seize up and stop functioning. Yeah.
I called when I had emergency surgery in 2018, I talked about that a lot. You know, I just landed in New York City, and I was taken from the plane to a hospital in Long Island where I had emergency surgery. And for me, my body said no. It's a consequence. And
you think it's the result mainly of like unhealthy thought patterns that you were having?
Thought patterns, ways I was living, emotion, coping mechanism, and escapes and denial and all of that. So that's why I talk about unhealthy.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah. Well, but being healthy is useful.
It is. Yes. And so, let's come back to it. So we were talking about in a relationship, when you go into a relationship, and that's something that I will keep in mind. If I like the person right away, I like the person. And if there are things that I see in the person that I don't like, I need to decide if I can live with them now, because they won't change.
Right. You just assume that it's going to be this.
If I can't live with them now, I can just say, I'm going to be okay, because it's going to be worse and worse and worse. So it's very important to be aware and to be self-conscious and to know what you're doing or what kind of relation you're going into.
Do you have a guideline about age disparity, since we were talking about that?
Well, it's funny because one day, like recently, I had a 20-year-old person who asked me out, and I laughed, and I'm like, I need to see your ID before even I go for coffee with you, because I don't want to be, anyway.
A cradle robber, like they say.
So it's crazy. So that's, for a laugh, but age difference, it's interesting. Before, for me, it would be, I wouldn't even think about going out with somebody who is younger than me.
Oh, okay.
And I would say, 15-year-old difference, 20 years, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But today I'll be like, well, I don't know. But I know I want young people. I mean, I have young kids, so I don't want, I would love them to be around somebody who is not 80.
Right, sure.
Or 70, even 70s. Yeah. So I think around the same age is great. A little older is great. Yes, qu'est-ce que tu peux, ma chérie? Oh, she's, around, but I don't know. It depends on, it's on a case by case basis for me.
Yeah, sure.
Now, when I see people who are 15, 20 years difference, if they like each other, I think it's great. If it's a healthy relationship, why not?
Yeah.
How about you? What do you think about it?
Well, obviously, I'm open to it.
Oh yeah, because you dated somebody who's 90.
Evidence suggests that I'm open to that, right? But we
But
would
you
have
wouldn't date someone who is 19 years older, because see how it works. Will you date today somebody who is 19 years older than you?
19
Will
years
you?
older than me.
Yeah. Chances are not, right?
They'd be 76 years old.
Yeah. Chances are
So
not,
the
right?
chances are probably not.
Yeah,
But
because
somebody my age, yeah. Somebody a little older than me, maybe.
yeah, yeah. So that's probably how I would see it too. I mean, I'm not attracted to old people. Not that it's wrong to be old, but yeah, also age is relative, right?
Yeah.
I am 45. Some people say, "Oh, you don't look like it." So I love saying my age because people are like, "Oh, you don't look like it,"
You know,
and so
that
I'm like,
happens to me quite a bit too. It's like, whoa, really? And I'm like, yes, yes,
so it's
yes, I
fun,
am.
I'm like, they're like, oh, you look like 30, 35. I'm like, yeah. So age is also just a number, I think it's more of the connection.
The connection, I think that's, well, Adriana and I would talk about this. We would discuss this at length. And once we got out of the way that, for me, I didn't want to like be together and start another family, and she didn't want to have children either. So that was fine. But it's hard with that difference sometimes to connect on the culture, because I grew up with a certain culture and a certain, there were certain things that I experienced that maybe she didn't experience, and vice versa. And actually, one example of that would be Harry Potter, for example. It's like I heard about Harry Potter from my young students and everything, but I never read it. But for people in her generation, that
Yeah, they've
was
all read it.
that
Yes.
was a rite of passage. That was it's sort of
Yes.
expected that everybody knows that. And so
Yes.
she would sometimes make references that I would, is that a Harry Potter reference? Because I'm not familiar with it. So things like that. Sometimes when you have a big difference, there's a difference in, with culture, with literature, with entertainment, with music, and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah. So yeah, I think that would be, yeah, that's it
Yeah.
depends. It depends
Yeah.
on the person.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I didn't know this conversation was going to go this way today, but
We
that's
never
good. That's
know.
good.
We
That's good
never
to know.
know which way it's gonna go, but it's
Yeah.
very interesting, right? So
Yeah, and
yeah.
this is
So
actually again, this discussion, there's a gold mine of things we could talk about.
yeah, and we can expand, but yeah, what's age is a number.
Yeah.
It's more like, if you want to say it in a nutshell, age is a number. It depends on the connection.
Yep.
And you don't make plans. But what's sure as well is you don't try to fix people.
Yes, that's gold right there. It's like,
yeah, either you accept it as is,
yes.
or you move on.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yes.
Everyone have a great day. Have a great Black Friday.
I hate shopping, so I don't.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Do you? Maybe that